Now uploading these videos, I think it's better that I upload them to YouTube and so much just make everyone have access to that. I think that there's a lot of questions that are not being asked in Parliament, and I think that G4S lied intentionally to a lot of questions that were posed in Parliament, and they decided to switch off the TVs on the day that G4S was speaking in Parliament. Since then, the TVs are always being switched off when the proceedings of the Correctional Services Committee and the PPPs and DCS are in process. So Thabo Bester he never made an ID. So if he never made an ID, how did he register with Demlin? Sharp, he could have had a connection with Demlin that put him in, but the school registered Thabo. The school allowed for Thabo to have a laptop, meaning they did that without having confirmed that Thabo really has the necessary qualifications to study with an institution of higher learning. They didn't do that. Thabo is not the only inmate that doesn't have the papers to study with an institution of higher learning, but then he has a laptop. It shows you that G4S's processes, there's no processes no processes even exist when it comes to G4S's management of the center. The questions that should have been asked is, provide us with all the files of the inmates that are having laptops at your facility right now, and all the inmates that were previously there having laptops. Is it not compulsory that a school should have the academic documents of any student in a student's file? They cannot register a student for an external examination whereas they do not have a file of that student, even if that student is an inmate. So that's an aspect that must be covered. Another thing, the DCS officials, Butloni, they just met me here. It's the 18th of April. So they've just informed me that they're not going to reclassify me. I'm going to stay here until after 12 years and 6 months. So what I want to know is, Shloni is telling me that the reclassification tool, the G303I, is saying that I must remain 12 years in maximum. So, because I'm serving a life. But Shloni does not want to talk about one of the other sections that are related to the period an inmate must spend at maximum, medium, or minimum. And that section stipulates the number of points that an inmate has. That section stipulates or indicates in which security classification such inmate falls if he's maybe attained a certain number of points. So that point system, I scored the number of points that qualifies me to be detained at a medium security correctional center. But still I was transferred to a maximum correctional center. Okay, it's alright. I was transferred to the maximum. I am now at the maximum. Let me come and go to school here at the maximum and leave all the nonsense that's going on in DCS with the Owens there, and then go back a better person and not be distracted so early in my sentence. I'm a first offender and everything. Okay, cool. Let me stay here at Mangaung and see how far I'll get. Maybe if I've finished school and started university and stuff, and my behavior is good and I've done a lot of motivational stuff, maybe then they'll see Neyman, but this always doing good enough to be placed in the medium center, but they refuse. Remember, this is the very same Shloni that has reclassified very dangerous criminals that Thabo does not even come close to. The guy has committed an attempted murder here in prison. He goes to solitary confinement for 3 months. They discharge him from solitary confinement in 3 months, and no charge was opened of the attempted murder that he committed. Not just him, but they were 5. And after that, they discharge him from solitary confinement within 3 months. And then within less than 2 months after that, they reclassify the inmate to medium security, meaning this inmate has been reclassified to medium security within less than a year after he has committed an attempted murder. This is where it gets interesting. This very same inmate has been released on parole, not even long after. Not even long after. So a lot of these inmates have reoffended, are back in prison again. And it started with their reclassification in Mangaung. If they were not reclassified from maximum to medium status, then they would not have been out on parole. It is the maximum it is the CMC at Mangaung that reclassifies this guy, and obviously writes there, the guy's behavior is good enough to be in the medium. So therefore, the parole board has a recommendation automatically from the CMC that says, this guy, his behavior is good enough to be granted parole. I have just found out that my file does not have a single positive case note in it. My file only has negative case notes. I'm here for 8 years in Mangaung Correctional Center. I've been a tutor at Mangaung Correctional Center for the past 6 years, tutor and student. I've been given positive case notes at school. I've been given positive case notes in the street because of the work I'm doing in terms of education. I'm also educating inmates in the street, even if guys are not attending school, or if they haven't attended school outside. What I teach them is basic mathematics and stuff to motivate them to go back to school. I teach them in the unit, and not long enough, a lot of these guys that like stabbing people are now at school in what they are done with school today, some of them. I'm done with school today, even me. So if DCS does not want to transfer me, inmates like me and the other inmates that are having an interest in this matter of mine, if he does not want to classify us to medium, then it's okay. He says I must go to court. I want you guys, the people that have money out there, come and finance me just as much as you all are financing that Thabo to go and do all that nonsense. Yes, I'm having a laptop. I'm now posting these videos on social media, but this is the extent to which I now need to go because DCS themselves are not following their own processes. I don't have money to start legal proceedings in court and stuff, but what I do have is information that can be used against both DCS and G4S. So fund me as much as you all are funding Thabo, so that we can go to court and have the court grant an order to allow all the cameras of the whole media in the whole world to come inside of this facility and cross-question each and every one they feel like cross-questioning, just as much as they are doing it in government correctional centers. Thank you.